incredibly well. Welcome to Pardon Your French.
Episode 1, the one where we moved to France.
And what happened after? I am Stephanie Lauren, and this is
Vanessa Shernock.
Why did we set up a podcast, Vanessa?
I don't know, you asked me. I said, okay.
Yeah.
You were like, this is a great idea. And I was like, if you want.
If you want, you're so easygoing. Why did we set up the podcast? Because you live an hour away, and we never get to see each other enough, do we? So I was like, how can you trick a friend into spending more time with you? Ask him to go on a podcast with you.
It worked. I'm
It
here.
worked. She's
I'm
here. So if ever you want to see somebody more, set up a podcast.
Yeah.
It's a thing to do nowadays. There's like 3 million of them. So, you know, we're in good company.
Yeah, we hope if you've stumbled upon ours that we can give you some good advice and perhaps help you learn something. Inspire you, maybe.
Inspire you. How did we get here, right now?
Yes.
What's the backstory behind that?
So, Steph,
Vanessa.
when and why did you move to France?
I moved to France permanently on the 9th of December 2020, pre-COVID, and Brexit.
Yeah.
And I just thought, my dad actually said one day in March 2020, lockdown, the day of official lockdown, that he would always love to live in France. And I was like, let's do it.
Yeah.
So here we are. Literally from March of thinking about it to December was the time when we came. We viewed some properties in the July, August time. And then we moved here permanently. So myself, my little boy Carter, who was 5 at the time, and my dad moved here permanently.
Yeah. You'd never spent winter here.
No. I literally moved in the December and I was like, what the actual, this is like Emmerdale Farm on steroids. This is colder than England. What are people doing here?
Yeah.
Do I go back? That was my first winter here. Every winter it's been the same.
Yeah. Every winter I want to move away from here.
It's not got any better. Although this year I do have logs. Because I moved here and I didn't know anybody at all. And I was like, how do these people keep warm? I don't get it. And then I found out people bought logs and I was like, I don't know a log man. But anyway, long story short, it was really cold every year. And every kind of October, November, I go, oh, I need to move. And my house is now on the market. So that's a real feeling. Again, like, if you're thinking of moving to France, remember, the winters happen, people hibernate in like September and they don't come back out until May. So you need to be really careful in the areas that you're choosing to look at to probably buy and just do a bit of a recce on, you know, what's still open out of season. But yeah, that's why I guess I moved here. My dad had prostate cancer back in July 2019. Thankfully, he got better. And then I thought, you know what? He's worked so hard for like me and my family for all his life. It's time that we looked after him and made his dreams, I guess it sounds really cliche, but made his dreams come true. Do you know what I mean? And when I told him what we were going to do, he was like, what?
Yeah.
So Vanessa, tell me
Yes,
how you got here and then we'll explain how we met.
Yeah. So I came to France in February of 2012. So I did a winter test run. I went to Paris. I was staying with some family friends. They showed me the city. I'd taken French in school and stuff for years, so I was convinced that I wanted to see more of the countryside. So I sent out some emails in this, you know, social, basically like a social network group for Workaway. And the only place that replied to me was Richard Peacock at Manoir de Langevaux. And he said, yeah, you can come and stay here in a 2-bedroom sheet apartment, basically. You can eat at the bar, or eat at the restaurant for free, drink at the bar for free, and just like work for us during the day doing whatever, you know, gardening or housekeeping or bartending or, you know, as you like. And I thought, yeah, that sounds good. And I checked out my Mortal Longevo 9-hole golf course, and I play golf, so I was like, this is it. This will be a good vacation. And I showed up planning to stay for 2 weeks. I ended up staying for 3. Then I went back to Ireland, where I had visited some friends and left some of my stuff, thinking I was going to go back there. Grabbed my stuff, came back. I ended up meeting somebody, my now husband, and he asked me if I wanted to come and live in France. So in April, after my 90-day Schengen time was up, I had to go back to the States, and I went back and immediately started getting a visa, and I came back in October, and I've lived here ever since. So October 2012 was October 10th. 2012 was an official start date.
Isn't it funny how you remember the dates, those
well, you have
dates.
to, all the paperwork.
Wow, my brain doesn't work like that.
I had to, because I had like an annual visa every year for 10 years before we got married.
Okay.
Not a visa, an annual residence card.
Oh, right, okay, so you had to renew it
every year, so I had to know my arrival date.
Right, okay.
And I had to provide that information every year, and obviously it was coming up to expire, so, you had to go back to the prefecture and give them all your paperwork and everything every year at that time.
Wow.
And it's like right when it gets cold.
So that's like one of the things about France, isn't it? All the paperwork. I think a lot of people that would be considering moving here would take into consideration, because it's epic in every way. It's epic, isn't it? And even for what we did, from buying a house to importing cars and healthcare and insurance and all of these sorts of things.
Yeah.
It's a lot. So we're actually going to get like specialists on to help guide you through. So if you have any questions, just DM us and we'll get all those questions answered by experts for you. Which I think is a really nice thing to do, because before I moved here, obviously I didn't have a clue where I was actually moving to. That's another story. I'll tell you about that another day. We just landed here, boop. But I couldn't do much prep. And it, like, even things like when I looked online about like French schools and the curriculum and the culture and blah blah blah, nowhere told me that kids in France don't go to school on a Wednesday. So it wasn't until I landed here and I was like, sorry, what?
Yeah, so you can't have a regular job. Yeah, pardon your French?
I was like, God.
Yeah.
And the impact of that on things. So what we want to do is just arm you with as much information as we can, and experiences, real life experiences that we've had, the ups and downs, the struggles, the fun, that we've had so far, that could help you in making a decision, maybe about an area, maybe about your priorities when you're looking to buy a property. I mean, I didn't even know what a FOSS tank was.
Septic,
now I do. And you're like an expert because your husband does it for a living. So it's like, it's, and again, it's a lot about who you know. So when I moved here, I knew no one. So it's taken 4 years to build up a really good network. So now I know somebody that does something in everything.
Yeah.
From fixing your lawnmower, you know what I mean? To knowing where to go to get your tyres replaced because they're forever bursting on the French country roads.
Yeah.
Like, things like that, you really need to do a deep dive, don't you? I think
I think there's a lot of people that come out here having zero idea whatsoever, and you can listen to somebody say, oh yeah, well the French invented bureaucracy, so it's going to be bad, and you have no concept of how bad it is until you're actually here. You think every difficult situation you've ever been in the UK, like at the moment we're trying to make sure that Simon's UK pension is sorted, and like that's hard enough, but you can sit down and read what's happening and click on the right buttons and you know exactly where you are, whereas when it's in French you're like, is that a nuance to that question? Is this how you fill this form out? They have this procedural thing like, no, you can't, yes, we need all of these papers, but you have to submit those papers all in the exact order that they asked for them, and things like that. You can't just send in a stack of papers. Like, no, you have to have a cover letter that says exactly what papers you need, and then each paper below that has to be this. And I think it's like you could have lessons in that alone.
Yeah. You
before
could,
you move here.
You could have
Yeah.
a degree in that stuff.
Or you can spend a fortune paying somebody else to do it
Yeah.
for you, which is
Which is
basically
what
you've done.
I literally had to do.
Yeah.
I literally had to do that. But like you've been here since what 2012.
Yeah.
But your French is incredibly good. Mine's horrific. I haven't even got pidgin French. So on that note, I want to say even if you don't know any French, you don't know anyone in France, but you want to move here and that's your dream, you can. It is all possible. Yeah. It is. I never want to deter somebody from making this move. I want to actually inspire people to do things and take the brave pill, I think.
Yeah, but we want to help people take the steps because it's not as overwhelming if you do just a little bit of prep work. If you learn just a little bit about how it works, like, you know, and when I got here, I didn't know anything. You know, I had taken French in school, so I could tell somebody I didn't speak French in perfect French, and they go, "Oh no, you're fine," blah, 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 and then I'm like, and so there was like this level of just because you know a little bit of French doesn't mean that you're gonna understand how French people and how French culture and society functions. Yeah. And so you know, every day is still a learning curve.
Every day is a school day here. Yeah. From the culture shocks to the French stare to
the French stare.
The French stare. I got shouted at for the first time the other day by a French lady. And it turned out her name was Stephanie. If I noticed her, I was like,
"Oh, are you mates now?"
No.
You're like, "Oh, la la."
She owns a chateau.
Oh. Yeah.
It's one of those. But yeah, we're just going to help, I think, provide some valuable insights and information and help you take the path of least resistance. So if you want to come on holiday here or you want to move here, you know.
Yeah. I mean, it is our goal to help you not make the same mistakes we made. Yeah.
Because I've made some epic fails.
And or laugh with you about the mistakes that we've made that you're probably going to make anyway. Even if we warn you about it, it's like it's going to happen.
Yeah, so, some of the pitfalls you've got to go through to get your badge of honour and go, I messed that up, or I've done this. You know, I think it was day 2 of me living here. I was trying to tell a waitress that Carter doesn't need cutlery, don't worry, because he can eat with his feet.
Love it.
But
you thought you were saying fingers.
I thought I was saying fingers because it's chicken nuggets and chips, but I was saying, don't worry, I can eat with his feet. And I wondered why I was getting a funny look, and Carter's just going. So Carter will also come on, talk about his life as a child, moving to France, experiences of school, friendships, community, language, missing his dad in England, and his family back there, I think.
Yeah.
Because when I was looking to come here, there was nothing about kids talking about moving to France, even though there's millions of expats.
Yeah.
There was no real life chat from a kid about the realities of how he truly felt, and the experiences Carter's gone through, I think would be a really good insight. And he's actually doing his own documentary. So it's being filmed at the moment. It's called Roots in the Wild. And it's about a little boy that's just been uplifted basically out of his comfort, his country, his language, his circle, and plopped in another country, not knowing a damn thing. And I guess that survival mode that he went into, now he's thriving. And I always knew he would, but oh my God, the journey and the path to get to that point is something that if you do decide to move here, all kids are going to have to get that wear and tear and that badge. You know, it's explosive and it's rewarding, but Christ, it's like he's found his true grit from doing this journey so far that he would never have got in England. He would never have been faced with language barriers or communication problems or culture shocks if he was still in England. He wouldn't be the boy he is today if he was still there. He would be so much more soft. not in personality wise, but
Yeah.
as in he's braver than any
Yeah.
person I've ever met in my life, and he's only 10.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I cannot wait to see the rest of his journey. So that's being currently filmed. So we're hoping that will be out by the end of the year.
Nice.
Another project
Yeah.
to work on, as we're working on all these as well. But what we'd love, I guess, is your interaction as well, because we want to make this like a community podcast, not us just sat talking at you. But we want to know, who would you love to hear from, like expert wise? Is it about the property market? Is it about the prices? What value do you get for your money? What's the size of the house compared to England? And everyone comes here thinking, oh my God, you can buy so much property and land for your money. And now I'm here 4 years later going, I live in my 2-bedroom sheet. My dad lives at the bottom in a wooden hut. And my main house is completely empty.
Yeah,
basically.
shut down for winter.
Shut down for winter. And I'm like, man, every week I've got to spend 3 hours just mowing my lawn on a ride-on mower. So things like that people would never consider, just kind of, not greedy eyes, because it was never greed, it was just pure excitement. Like, oh my God, you can have your dream.
Yeah, I've had a strip of grass this big my whole life, and now I can have a real lawn. And
literally.
People get excited, don't they? Just to think what you can get for your money.
Yeah. But I also think that has now changed too. Before I moved out here, I think the prices are very different now, and the value for what you can get for your money, I think, is very different. Again, depending on area. But we're going to bring in a property expert to talk to you about prices, areas, how to transfer your pounds into euro. That's another whole story. I literally thought I'd got scammed out of literally mine and my dad's life savings. That is a whole nother story, but I literally thought I'd been done for, and I'll go into that. So again, how we can help you know that you're dealing with the right people, and avoiding things that...
Well, and then, just since Brexit, the whole getting a residence card, we'll bring in somebody with the expertise to explain the process, explain where you can get the correct information, because there's a lot of Reddit blogs out there,
armchair warriors. We're going to go on some road tours. We're going to visit
check out cool sites, nice
cool
villages.
Sites. If you want to come and visit, or you're interested in a certain area, we can go there and we can do some investigating, can't we?
Yeah, absolutely.
We could do that. Go to some bars and restaurants.
Restaurants.
Do you know what? The main reason, obviously 10 out of you, but the second main reason was, if this was available before I had moved over, I think it would have been so helpful.
Yeah.
For the reality of what you are doing when you are moving country and taking a family and uprooting and language and culture and all sorts of things. I think it's it could be a real...
a resource.
Yeah.
An incredible resource. I think that too. I think this podcast could become an incredible resource for people. We've talked about before, like you can't just Google things.
Situations. You can't
even if
Google
you just
situations.
Translate from English into French.
Yeah.
And it doesn't translate straight away and things like that. So you end up in situations where you're like, okay, I need to figure out how to get this paperwork.
Yeah.
And if you don't know what that is actually called or how to do it, or even the people that could help you do that. And that's kind of what this is about. We want to be able to provide those resources for people.
Yeah.
And, kind of help people avoid the pitfalls that we've kind of fallen into.
Yeah,
you've only had it, when you think about it, you've only had it nearly 5 years now.
I found my school report from 1998 when I was at Swanmore School, and Madame Clifton was my French teacher, and oh bless her soul, because I doubt she's still with us. I found my school report, so I will bring that in on one of the next episodes and show you that you don't have to be successful in the classroom
to live in a foreign country. You could be terrible at French class. You could fail
French in every level and still move here and get by and have some fun. So yeah, send us your questions and we'll get back to you. So let's take it back to 2020. I moved here. You've been here since 2012 and we met. I remember this day like it was yesterday, and it makes my heart sing every time I think about it. But we met at a birthday party. It was a wonderful French evening. So you, I think, remember more about it than me in this, like, before you spoke to me.
Yeah, I was just sitting at the table with a few of our friends. We were having some drinks and chat, and in walked this incredibly vibrant...
6'10".
Vibrant, energetic, sort of pink-haired chick
that
in a snapback,
baseball cap.
Yeah, and I was like, she is so
lovely. Is that
so cool? And you told this story, and I don't remember any of the details of the story. And you were talking about somebody I didn't know about, but something had happened, obviously, to you that day, and. I was just listening to how you told the story, and it was just exactly
your vibe.
Yeah, it was my vibe. Like, I was just like, that girl, you know, sometimes you stumble upon people, and you become friends, and blah, blah, blah. This was a situation where I was like, I want to be that girl's friend. And I want her to be my friend, and I think we will be so cool together.
I just remember you asking me if I got high or if I'm high, and I was like, no.
Yeah, like the energy was very much like hot, like you're here to party.
I think I was eating food.
Yeah, we were both eating food.
Dancing.
Yeah.
Washed out.
Yeah, I mean,
hair.
Part of it was like we were dancing and like to just like some tunes. No one else was dancing. It was just us like out in the middle of all the people eating food. Like, let's dance.
Yeah.
And
it was like a vibe within a vibe.
Yeah, it was a vibe within a vibe. I was just like, do you want to be my friend? And
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I do.
I think it was funny because I've never had anybody ask me if I want to be their friend before, and I guess I thought, wow, this is a brave American. Is this like an American? Do American people ask people to be friends? Because English people don't.
I don't know. I do.
You do.
You know, like, I don't know. I haven't been in America for so long.
Maybe it's like a cultural thing because I don't know. I think English people will probably go, do you want to go get a coffee or what? Are you free next weekend?
Yeah, but I didn't want to hit on you. I wanted you to know that I wanted to be your friend. I don't want to take you out for a drink.
And you were like, oh, we have to like hang out.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah.
And I was like, where do you live? And you're like, in the middle of nowhere out in the Shront. And I was like, great. That was like an hour away from me. And I was like, but I've just started this job that's like a halfway between the two of us. You should come and work there. And you were like, I don't want to bartend. And I was like, you won't be bartending, don't worry. And I tricked you into it.
I turn up and I'm behind the bar.
It's okay, I was
I'm still forgiving you.
I know you haven't at all. You're like, I'm never taking your advice on jobs again.
Job advice from you again. But yeah, we managed to get through it, didn't we? But that's how we became friends.
Yeah. And then you asked me to do this podcast.
To hang out with you.
And I didn't realize how famous you kind of are already. Because you were like, let's do this podcast. And I thought, well, I've done a radio show once. You know.
See, I've never done a radio show.
Right. Well, I did a radio show for a class in college, right? Sunday morning radio show for the university radio station.
So preppy.
I'm such a nerd. We had like consistently one listener. And it wasn't even my mother. No, it was like an ex-boyfriend of the other person who was hosting. Stalking thing, yeah.
Oh, no.
But, so when you said, oh, we'll do this podcast, I thought, sweet. And like, even when I posted the publicity for it, I was like, yeah, all 15 people you know have watched your advert and liked it. Like, one of my girlfriends was like, yes! And I was like, sweet. And then you sent me through that you've got like thousands of people liking our post. And I was like, oh, this is real.
This is real.
Like, we could actually help people.
So, episode 2, we are coming to you with the name and the title, Friends and French Fries. Why? Because French fries are amazing and so are friends. So, how do you, mostly, there will be a caveat on that, and we'll deep dive into that too.
Yeah, just
about how to filter friendships in the sense of, here's the golden rule. No, I'm not going to give it to you because we want you to tune in next week.
Save it for next week.
Save it for next week.
Yeah.
And I hope you enjoyed the episode. Do message and DM us with questions, stories.
If you have a topic you really want us to go into, or a resource that you really want us to find, or a person that you think would be a great interview for us, that'd be really helpful.
Yeah,
and
we'll
insightful. Yeah, definitely. And that's
a wrap. Episode 1.